So for me, I've told you the story before. I was like sitting in the shop and I heard this voice and it said to me, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey," and I thought it was the front desk chick, Jen, who was sitting up there talking to me. I looked at her and I said, "What's up?" She's like, "I didn't say shit to you." Like, what are you talking about? And I'm going, "Oh, my bad." So I sat back down at the table and I was like, and I heard this voice go, "Hey," and I was looking around like, "Oh man, am I losing the plot? Like, what's going on here?" Like, he's talking to me, like literally, and it was like, "Hey, I want to ask you a question." And I was like, "Well, okay." Still, I'm kind of like really freaking out here. Like, am I hearing voices in my head? Do I need like medication or some shit? Like,
Yeah.
like what's up with me?
Yeah.
And the voice was like, "Hey, all right, well, I want you to understand something. I want to show you something." And I was like, "What?" And it's like, "I want to show you the most beautiful thing that's ever possible, and that's ever possible between two human beings. And it's going to be the most insane, most beautiful experience you've ever experienced in your life." And I was like, "Okay." And then it said, "But," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, here go the butts." You know what I mean? Always a butt with shit. And it basically, the voice said, "But you can't keep it." And instantaneously, I knew what was referencing that. In other words,
At least you got a warning, Jeff.
well, I think
I was
it was
upset
more,
I couldn't keep it for a very long time.
well, I know, but like, see, this is where I think some of my stuff was fast tracked, and I don't know
You were
why.
very
And I
fast
can't answer
tracked.
that.
I've said
I
this
can't
at
answer that.
I have my own sort of little theory on that, and I might have talked about this before, but I felt that, like, say for me, it was in, I don't know, 2013 when I met my twin. And I think maybe in our case, like, we had more work to do. Maybe there was still more layers from past lives or this life. So we're working through. Once I got into doing my videos and, doing sessions with other twins and stuff like that, which was, a couple of years into it and beyond, the people I would meet and chat with, it would, like, you were one of them that I was like, whoa, you are on a fast track. Even your whole twin flame experience, it was just like bam, bam, like very, very fast. And I feel
Yes.
like all of us needed to sort of really be shaken into waking up by a certain point. And now with the timelines of what's going on and what we were speaking about in our previous video, and I'm sure what we'll keep talking about, I get it. I get with the timelines. I just think different people start at different times depending on where your soul was at, what you need to learn. So I think my soul, I had to get my ass handed to me over and over and over. And I've said it reminds me of an ayahuasca ceremony or something. It's very difficult, but you need it. I couldn't be where I am today, within the soul lesson, spiritually open-hearted,
Well,
on
let's
the right path. So
like
I
so.
felt like you were one of those. You were just like, after I started chatting with you, it was just like bam, bam, bam. You're on to the next, on to the next. Then you're channeling, then you're downloading. You were moving through quick. And you didn't
Very
have as much to clear, I would say, as, for example, like my energetics needed to clear from my starting point a couple years in.
well, depending on you're talking about ancestry shit for you too. So
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot. There's a big
Yeah.
difference with like that.
My native side, whenever I did ayahuasca ceremonies, whew, and I used to have even some judgment towards my native side because certain people in my own family were living up to certain stereotypes that, people use out here, and it upset me or something. But my ayahuasca ceremonies really shook me into understanding that and seeing the energetics that I needed to clear. So thank you for that, because yeah, it did feel like a big part.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I feel like mine was like a contract because I was asked. Like, listen, man, like I'm going to do this for you, and I'm going to show you this, but you have to have the understanding of this, that when you go into this, you already know you can't keep it. So you already understand what's going to happen. You already understand it's going to be shitty. It's going to be the best experience I've ever shown you and the best thing you could ever have. But at the same time, it's going to be the absolute hell that you've ever been through in your entire life. And I went,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm old. I don't care. I'd like to experience that once in my life. Let's do it. Why not?
Oh my gosh. That's awesome that you had that choice.
And I mean, I don't think I would have had a choice, as in,
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
it would
turn
have
away.
happened anyway. But why did they, I mean, I have to say reference to God or source energy.
Source. Yep.
Ask me that contract. Why did you ask me that? I still don't, that's one thing that I love that happened, because it was free will and a choice to me. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that carried through with me to all of my extremes, highs and lows throughout my whole twin flame journey, because it is always a choice.
Yeah.
You understand what
We
I'm
have
saying?
free will
Everything.
as a human.
Right. So remember that time I came to you and I was like a light switch click. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm done. I'm done today. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, oh no, I'm done. I give in to all this crap. It's cool. I'm over it. And you're just like, what are you talking about, man?
Good luck.
And it was like a light switch. And I was like, okay, I'm good. Time to move on to the next thing.
That's what's been really interesting with the work that I've done with different twin flames. You know, I found for you and sometimes males, it's like there's still that element of logic, making sense of it. Whereas a lot of the females, myself, for example, like very, very heavy in my feminine energy when I first got started. I would say I'm more balanced nowadays, but it's like the emotional side of it and just
Oh no, I still sat in bed and freaking cried. It was like, what's going on?
yeah.
And of course,
But
again,
you
I'm sitting
guys, you had more logic, you know, you had more like, okay, this is it. And even just having that told to you and tuning into that message or that download from source and just saying, okay, it is what it is, you know, like I'm experiencing that. I told source that I want to see it. I made that choice and accepting that. You've been very good at handling it.
there's a time in it, like I understood the timelines like really quick too,
Mhm.
like in reference to trying to figure out, okay, in this suck, so in the black horse of the soul, in the most shittiest part to go, like it's kind of like sitting on a boat in the middle of the ocean in a storm, going, you know what I mean? Is this all you got for me? You know what I mean? You got some more? Then go ahead and throw it at me, because at this point it ain't gonna get any shittier. So you
Oh,
might as well throw it at me and let me deal with it now, because that's how, I mean, it's gonna happen whether I like it or not.
and good for you because I was
And good,
resisting that surrender for a long time, for at least a couple of years. I was going crazy, driving myself nuts.
I looked in the mirror and going, why the hell did you agree to this shit?
Yeah.
Why did you say yes? But then again, I would never change that ever.
Exactly. But in
That
those moments when you're feeling the pain, it's hard to feel the gratitude for the situation and for being
yeah,
shown that level of love and connection. But in the moment, yeah.
and learning how to deal with, okay, you get a very broad understanding of learning how to deal with the suck, because the suck, to me, and I've said this before, I believe love and hate are the same energetics. It goes back to what I said before. It's the choice to how you feel about those energetics that will relate to you in what it is that you're doing and how you're feeling in the most part. Because the suck isn't the suck. The suck is the beauty of the shit. That's where it's at. In that suck is where the most beautiful shit is.
It's true because that's where the true healing and
Now,
ascension
I hate to
comes
tell you
into
this,
place.
I'm talking to all you people who are listening. I'm going to tell you this right now. The suck is the worst shit ever, but it's the best shit because that's where you're at.
100%.
And in order to find you, you have to go to that suck. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go through with it. I'm saying you're gonna go through it anyway. But I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta be like, when you're in it and you're feeling that worst shit ever, stop for just 1 second and go, where am I in this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why would something push you to that point? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, to where you would, the utmost point of breaking you down.
Yeah.
Because it's going to build you back up. That's why.
Exactly. It's hard to see
So,
that in the minute when you're going through it. I felt anger at times. I felt frustration. I felt loss. I mean, there was a lady, I forget her name. Her name, I think it was Lindy Cowling. She used to have videos back in the day, early on, twin flame videos. And she had this video where she said, it feels like you've been handed the keys to the gates of heaven, and you go through the gates and you just feel that warmth, that love, and that's the feeling of, that unity, that love, that oneness, unconditional love. It's like the closest we can have to connecting to source, I feel.
me
But
too.
so she said it's like you're
Without a
walking,
doubt.
right? So she's like, it's like you're
Oh, yeah.
walking through the gates of heaven, and all of a sudden it's like you've fallen from grace, and they've kicked you out of the gates of heaven, and you've literally had to fall flat on your face back on earth, and it's the worst feeling ever. And I was like, that is such a good description, the way she described it, because you feel like you're literally in heaven. You feel
Yep.
that warmth, that, oh, it's just incredible. And then to have that taken away is, oh my goodness, I was so, so sad for so long. But that's what turned me inwards. And without that pain, I couldn't have felt through so many things that I've come to believe, like I keep saying, come from not just this life, but many past lives. And your soul is coming to the earth school for lessons and lessons and lessons. And here you go. This is that ultimate lesson right before you're going to wake the fuck up
Oh yeah. It's
and
gonna,
really bring your soul to the next level.
like I said, it'll show you whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, but you don't have a choice in that. Like, it kind of, the mirroring thing kind of gets me too, because you're so into this dark horse of crap that you start going every which way that it's like you're squirming, and like you're looking at your twin going, pointing a finger at him going, you did this, I don't like the way you do this, you party still, I don't think you're a good parent, I don't think this is what it is, and you keep pointing that finger outward. And the thing is, until you realize you need to turn that finger around and start pointing it at yourself and go, shit, everything that you just said that you didn't like about them or how you were feeling about them is actually how you truly feel about yourself and what you need to fix.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the
100%.
ultimate mirror, and smack yourself in the face. Like, literally.
Yeah.
So, and if you can't, it's hard for people to accept all of that. So it's hard for
Yeah.
people nowadays to even say they're fucking wrong, let alone anything else. If you
Oh,
fuck up,
a
say you fucked up.
100%.
Period. Hey, that's the easiest way. Okay, you're not perfect. You messed up. There it is. Boom. There it is. But it's the same thing except way deeper. You know what I mean? So if you
Mm-hmm.
can't acknowledge those things, and the dark horse of the soul, and will repeat itself until you allow that to happen.
Oh, mine
It'll keep.
repeated
It'll
itself many, many, many times.
And the thing is, it's like a vicious circle. It will come
Yeah.
back and smack you in the face yet again
Yeah.
because you're not abiding by what it keeps telling you. And believe me, it tells me to do shit all the time, and I'm like, nope. And then, because I'm hard headed,
Mm-hmm.
it'll literally go, why do you keep thinking about that shit every day and every other day and every week and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Oh,
You know what I
I
mean? So
compared it to like being a hamster running on a wheel. I was just running and running and running, and sometimes maybe I'd get off, but then it's like I'd get right back on the wheel. And someone that came along in my life, the funniest thing, I had this relationship I've talked about before, and I don't know, that relationship, it was just put in my path to teach me a bunch of lessons and to continue to reflect more shit back at me, but it wasn't the best relationship. But I really connected with that partner's mother, and I'm still friends with her actually, and she is totally on our path. She's totally awake. She's going through a different route, not a twin flame route, but a different route, but she's still getting there. And she told me once, Talysia, get out of that movie that you're playing in your head. Get out of it. And I'm
yep.
like, whoa. That one, it was one of those moments in my life that I was like, whoa, I'm playing into this role, into this drama, into this whole image that I have in my head. And I was creating a reality. And, myself and her son, we were part of just going through these, it was almost like taking the drama elements of the twin flame stuff and just continuing that. So I just had someone to keep reflecting my shit back at me until I finally decide to stop
And
running on that wheel.
there's another element of manifestation that people don't understand is that what language are you speaking to yourself? What
Hmm.
what do you tell yourself on a constant basis? What are you doing on a daily basis or in your movie? I call it a bubble, but in your movie, just using your words,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What's your movie? What like this movie ain't over, is it? No. Okay, so why don't you change the ending?
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
And
like
that's where I'm at now in my life. And I keep saying that. It was like, oh, finally I got off that wheel and running and running and running, and finally ready to just manifest the right energy of what I wanted.
yes, because that's I mean that's we can go into that too. That's another conversation.
Oh yeah, we'll have to
What
have another chat all about
a
manifestation because it's
manifestation day.
huge. It's
It
huge.
is
But
that.
yeah, so you and your twin, how did it start with the sort of running and dynamic? Was she more the runner, would you say, or were you both at different times?
I mean, I think that swapped once, but most of the time she was probably running and I was chasing. Because I was always like, "No, you don't understand. I get it, and I know." Because like I've always told you, like now I know what I know is I know. So
Yeah.
you can't tell me anything different. So, and that's only when I get a download and I understand. Like my intuition is like, nope, that's it. Like she would say
Yeah.
things and do things like, "No, you're wrong." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "No, you're supposed to be with me, actually." You know what I mean? And she would do things and say things and try to escape me, but I'm like, whatever. You see what I mean? Like, nah,
Yeah,
you're
you were
good.
very neutral, and you trusted the connection in yourself. Like I said, for a long time, I just thought I was going crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course I did too. I mean, that's how do you have voices ask you if you want to see something and you don't?
But in
So,
general, you I felt like you were solid in it. Like you trusted it more quickly than I did.
well, yeah, because that's the most craziest experience is the most realist experience ever. So, to me, not being aware of the spiritual element of everything and the energetics as much as I am now I know what I was saying and what I was doing was correct. Do you see what I mean? So
Yeah.
that intuition element within that, each person knows, and your twin knows because they're you too, so they know too. So it doesn't matter who's running or chasing. The runners know what the fuck's up. They know what's going on. They know what
Yeah,
they're
I
doing.
didn't used to think they did, but I
So
believe
no,
they do know. They feel
they
it.
100% know. I'm not saying they know how to deal with it. That's a different
Yeah.
story. That's a whole different kettle of fish right there.
I would always doubt
But
it, but over the years of, yeah, when I would catch up with my twin and chat, it was always like very eye-opening for me. Like, whoa, he does feel that too. Whoa, he does know what this is in his own way.
oh yeah, I mean, mine, again, like, I know she knows. It's funny. It's to me, it's like I'm okay with that. Like, she's like, I think she's remarried now and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And doing her thing and everything else. But
mine was, I
I
believe,
mean,
engaged the last we spoke, and you know.
yeah, but if they're listening to this, I know she still loves me. That's not even a question. I laugh at that because it's funny. You know, I mean, the last thing she ever texted me was "I love you," and that was about a year ago. Do you see what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know when she got remarried, but I don't know if that was before or after. But I'm just saying,
Oh yeah.
like, it's not. Don't think that it's just gonna go away. That's not the case. That's just it's not.
No.
They are you, and you are them. Period. And that's what it is. It's that energy that's split, and there's one or the other. You know, and it's still you. It's just a split from you. It's basically
Yeah.
your divine counterpart, right? So
Yeah.
whether it be divine energy with feminine or masculine, it's your divine counterpart, period. And it's who source energy or God or whatever said, this is you, and this is what I'm giving to you, and this is what you should understand that's possible, and this is what you should understand that you can have almost if you become the best you that you can be.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying you're going to be with them. That's not what I'm saying. I tend to believe that we're supposed to be, but
I was
that's
going
not.
to ask you how you feel about that, or what you think the outcome could be one day.
I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Mhm.
I have no idea. I mean,
Sometimes I think
I
maybe
know
it's
for
in another life, or maybe it's on the other
well, see,
side, or.
I mean, I've said some crazy stuff along this journey, like, but when I get downloads on things, it, I tend to listen to that 100%. You know what I mean? I don't
Mhm.
know where that comes from or what's going on with that, but
Yeah.
100% what I believe to be factual to me, you know?
Yeah.
So when I get a download or when I say something, I just consider that the law at this point. You know, you know what
Good
I
for
mean?
you. Yeah.
So I'm
I'm
like
sure I
going,
still question things a little bit, but.
so when I answer that question, I'm going like, well, I don't know, because I honestly think that once you understand that there's other twins out there and there's other things and there's other things that are possible, you might open yourself up more to different elements within that. So I've
Yeah.
I've always said through other twins is where you will find what it is that you're looking for. Now, I'm not saying that in relationship wise. I'm not saying that in friendship wise. I'm not saying that in love wise. I'm just stating that fact because I've
Mhm.
always known that. And that's kind of why, you know me, I've always give the downloads to you and you would disperse them how you see fit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Collective and stuff like that. But now I'm going, nah, people need to hear this shit, like, for real. Like, when I download something, like, I'm probably supposed to be telling people this. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
100%. That's why I think it was important for us to get on these conversations and record it. And I've always said that, like, even if it affects one person out there, I'm happy with that, because that's all we're doing is we're just putting out little tidbits of information in this ocean of collective consciousness, you know, and that's what I feel drawn to do. And I think we're supposed to do that at certain times. And yeah, if you ever feel, you know, a download coming on or some kind of channeling, like, definitely just record it or hit me up and we'll record together and just share, because I know certain times you've written long letters to me of just out of the blue. It'd be some sort of download that you got, and I was like, wow, like, that's amazing. And
Exactly.
I
I have no idea. It's like in the middle of the night, and I was just getting
yeah.
a DM, and it's like 5 pages long, and I'm like, what the hell was
Yeah, I
that?
even write it out and we can chat about it on here, because that's the thing is I do feel that there's a veil. It's been thinning. We're getting information coming through to us, and it's just a matter of, like, is our antenna, you know, alert to it? Are we open? Can we take this information, this energy in? And I think we can have other conversations about, you know, cleaning out your system and getting ready to harness information and bring this energy through to the planet. There's a lot going on that I don't think any of us could fully grasp or fathom.
Well, I
But
mean,
as far as, the twin flame element, I feel like that love and that connection, it never goes away. It's always there. I always feel his energy. It's like guiding me in my life. And I remember my twin saying, like, I think I'm going to be on my deathbed, and saying Talysia or something like that. And I'm like, oh, like, I remember at the time being like, don't say that. It just seemed kind of sad to say, but yet it's like, I get it. I think we're going through our lives and we got to do what we got to do, each of us, but the energy's still there. It still remains. I have dreams of him. I think even last night I had a dream and he was in it. Like, we meet up in the other side, like, I know that. I feel that. They're those really vivid, very real dreams.
no
And I
question.
keep saying this, like, I have a partner that's an incredible, amazing partner who's also awake, who's also on the spiritual path. And I'm like super happy. I'm really, really happy. And I think my twin would be happy for me, and I'd be happy for him if he's in a loving, good relationship, or if he's working on himself, or whatever he might be going through. It's like, I just
Let me
feel
let
the
me
connection.
let me close with this real quick because I got to pick up
Hmm.
my daughter.
Okay.
But I'm going to close with just a thought. Basically,
Okay.
like, as far as what if, and again, the spirituality with source and energy and God to me is the same thing.
Hmm.
Now, can I explain that? No. But what if your twin, because I was asked that question, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was that source energy or God actually telling me, I'm going to show you how you should be loving me?
Mm.
And then I'm going to show you everything it is to fix yourself to where if you do that, what can happen for you.
Because to love source is to love yourself, because we are
Correct.
source.
Right. And we are
God. We are
we
pieces.
are made in his likeness, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into religion and all that, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's weird to,
Yes.
that connection is through everything. And that energy or that source that we're referring to, I say God because so people can understand
Yeah.
the
That's just what
volume with
we
which
call it.
right. This is something that we've labeled it for understanding purposes. I mean, you call it whatever the hell you want to, but it's definitely greater than ourselves. And that's why I always say, like, it's through other twins that maybe you'll find that. You see what I'm,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking, and I said it could be anything. It could be love, it could be friendship, it could be this, it could be anything, but it's not through, it's not through yourself that you find that. It's building yourself in order to find that or find that relationship within that source energy and within yourself. And then once you find that self, you'll find someone else. That's just a given. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I had to
it,
find myself to find a partner that reflects the energy of where I'm at now and the love I have for myself now. And I think going through that whole experience, it of course, it really helped me in so many ways. And we can get together soon and chat even more about that. But I know you've got to get your daughter.
most definitely, yeah. I'm just pulling up to.
Oh,
Oh,
well, nice to chat with you while you're on your drive, and good to hear at least the beginning of your whole twin flame story. And I'm sure we'll get into more of it soon.
exactly. We'll probably touch back in about a week after we download
Yeah,
it.
100%.
All
Okay,
right,
my
girl.
friend, you have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.